Man, fuck intro. Shit. Man, you know what it is. This is a gym podcast, man. We live from my second bedroom. If you're familiar with the podcast, you already know. If you ready, you already know where I'm at. If you're not, started off in my podcast room at the beginning of the year and transitioned into a new studio. But man, yearly recap 2021, insane fucking year. Insane fucking year. I mean, I went through the highs, I went through the lows. I mean, I'm sure everybody did. And I think for me, it was just a wild time. I mean, I got my notes here, so it's gonna don't know how long this is gonna be, but it's just gonna be me solo dolo. I think I'm gonna go over a couple goals. I think I'm gonna go for the new year. I think I'm gonna go over a couple goals we hit previously in 2021. Couple shout outs, actually a lot of shout outs. Um, and yeah, man, I just as always, man, this is the Gym Podcast. Appreciate you tuning in to the solo dolo episode, man. If you're streaming right now on all streaming platforms, appreciate you. YouTube, if you clicked on the link, I appreciate you. And I don't even know why I'm chewing gum. Probably because I got that boo boo ass breath because I was eating before. Take that out of my mouth. Um, shit. Let's Man, let's start with some shout outs. Nah, we'll leave the shout outs for a little bit. Man, first of all, appreciation, man. Appreciation for everybody that was on the podcast, everybody that tuned into the podcast, everybody that has some type of role in the podcast, likes, shares, comments, showing friends, showing families, anything that you did to partake in the movement that I'm creating on this actual platform. Shout out to you, man. This has been a ride. This has been an insane ride, and I couldn't thank you. I couldn't thank you enough. I first want to start off with backtracking, man. January 2021. I think when I first started to hit the scene on inviting people over to the actual podcast and kind of getting them into my second bedroom, kind of getting into the actual podcast, honestly getting familiar with talking to somebody because talking to strangers, I should say, or meeting people for the first time because previously in 2020, at the end of 2020, it was just me, my friends, my family, myself. And I kind of didn't really know how to talk to people. I'm not even going to front on anything. So when I got in front of people, got to meet new people, got to have conversations with them, sit down with them, see how people are on camera, on a microphone, it just changed my perspective on a lot of things. You figure out how to talk to these people. You figure out trigger words to make them feel comfortable. Because I mean, not everybody is used to being on a camera. I always say this. I will always say this because this is something that I can stress enough. I wish we were taught how to communicate better in school. Speech classes, yeah, for sure, but do you really learn in high school or even in college? I mean, to an extent, college was this the speech class that I had in college was for sure just I guess bringing confidence out and standing in front of people, public speaking, but it was just part two of high school. Like it wasn't anything major. It wasn't anything that kind of got me out of my shell. Now, this being on the internet, being on TikTok, being on Instagram, Twitter, all social media platforms, what the fuck? Like, this is insane when you think about it because you're not really taught how to talk in front of a camera. All right, rant over. Um, so we go into let's see, we go into April, we go into May, and we start getting into the studio. We start getting into looking at places. I mean, you got rundown places, you got high price places, you got average. And I'm not gonna lie, I think we got a good bang for the buck when we got the studio that we are in now. I think our lease ends up in May, and yeah, man, it's been good to us. There's a couple things we weren't. I guess they hit us over the head with. They didn't really tell us, and then again we didn't really ask. It was one of those first time things that we just so excited to I guess get into that you just kind of just just go face forward, and then if whatever happens happens. So I mean we didn't have Wi-Fi. We still don't have Wi-Fi in that bitch. Granted, um, to run this actual podcast, like to run this podcast, we don't need Wi-Fi. Now it would be nice to have Wi-Fi so we can upload in the studio. It would be nice to have Wi-Fi so Jay can work on his shit and edit his audio and go live and just all these other things that we wanted to do or he wanted to do and that I guess we wanted to do that we couldn't do without Wi-Fi. And which is crazy. It was 2021. You would think that these studios are equipped to have Wi-Fi. It was to this day. I mean, yeah. And yeah, it's dope. I think also too the things that I other than the Wi-Fi, the lights. I mean, the lights are terrible in there. I'm not even gonna lie on that part. The lights, especially because they're high ceilings. They very tall fucking ceilings, so you can't really fix them. You can't really, I guess, move them around or dim them or anything like that. So the lights are very bad lighting. So we kind of had to just go with the flow on it, man. Buy equipment, and yeah, man, it worked out, man. And I wanna say too, one of the things that I really kind of grasped, like just I had a very hard time of doing is just getting into a fucking routine and a process. And first person I want to give a shout out to is Jay, man. Jay, if you're listening right now, or if your brother's listening, shout out to Tony because he's a frequent fucking listener on my podcast, man. Jay, man, the things that you do, the shit that you did to this podcast, the things that I know you're gonna do in the future is insane, bro. Like you literally went on a whim, not knowing how to edit audio, and you just said, "Fuck it, let's learn." And you're with me with the whole time, the whole ride. Uh, and I don't. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you're listening. I don't think you understand how much that means to me, man. Because my voice is getting put onto a platform, and this audio is being edited by somebody that that just cares so much about this platform, like whether he sees it or not. That's the way I feel about it, and I couldn't thank him enough. I know, like I said before, it was a process getting into the every week thing. Like I know when I was uploading podcasts during the summer, it was I would send him shit late and he would do it within a day or two, or I would send him shit early and he would do it within a day or two. Like it was so crazy. And even now, I think, like I said, we're at a point where I still want to continue to do the podcast every week. And there's just days I have to submit for myself personally that I have to submit him or just send him the audio or just whatever, give him the audio. And yeah, he sends it back in the time in a timely fashion. And it's just like I said, it's smooth. Like before, it was it was insane. I was myself too. I was scrambling to do um little shit like the YouTube thumbnail. Boo boo ass YouTube thumbnails in the beginning of the fucking year. Jay went ahead and put a like a basic actually, I mean he's gotten pretty good at these fucking at these uh at these artworks that he's creating for his DJ shit he got going on. And then he created just a YouTube thumbnail, and I just he showed me how to work it. He showed me how to get into Photoshop. Bro, Jay showed me how to do a lot. Photoshop is another thing I had no idea. Adobe Premiere, he kind of showed me the ways too. Now I'm kind of more focusing on Adobe Premiere versus Final Cut Pro when it comes to editing the video. And yeah, man, shout out to fucking Jay, bro. I promise you, this podcast definitely wouldn't be what it is, what you're listening to right now without Jay. He's gonna edit this audio, so yeah, man, it's been a wild one. I appreciate you, bro. Means a fucking lot. Means a fucking lot. Next want to get into, I guess, shit. We can get into the guests. What I want to do, and what I thought of as I was eating out there. Let me get at my handy dandy iPad that I hardly ever fucking use, but I was like, hey, let me bring up my iPad so I can look cool on the fucking internet and record myself. Uh, yeah, I hardly ever fucking use this, and I bought it in May, bro. Anyway, fucking ways. Well, while I looked this shit up, I hope your fucking year was dope. I hope you accomplished some shit that you wanted to accomplish. I hope that that good or bad. I mean, bad. It's always a loss. If I always say this, if it's a loss if you don't learn from it. If you learn from it, it's not a loss. So take that with a grain of salt. I don't even know if that pertains to the actual what I just said, but yeah, if it was good, man, shout out to you for fucking grinding. I know there's been a lot of people out grinding. I know there's been fuck, what am I doing? YouTube Studio. Yeah, if you've been grinding, shout out to you, man. But I'm pulling up this YouTube Studio, the where I upload my videos, and I'm just gonna go to the bottom. I'm just gonna go to the bottom, and I'm just gonna go from the top. Let's see. First one, bro. Hold on. Let me see where these. Okay, because I did episodes 27 posted a year ago was reflecting on 2020, and that was with my boys C and J. So next one, episode 28, man. Shit, Hockey Hill, bro. Shout out to you, man. And I still listen to your fucking song, bro. That's the crazy part. Like I still bump his actual fucking song. Um, so shout out to Hockey Hill. Hockey Hill. Shout out to man. So crazy thing about this next person, Eddie Ortiz. Bro, this guy is a full supporter. He's a fucking real deal when it comes to meeting people in person. Like the way he is on the internet, hardworking, like enthusiastic, outgoing. That's the way he is on in fucking person. So shout out to Eddie. And like I said, he's a huge supporter. Steph, man. Me and Steph actually haven't talked in a couple months just because she's been out and she's been out in South Texas getting her doctorate degree, which is insane to even think about. I couldn't have the fucking courage to even do that. And yeah, man, love you, Steph. Shout out to you. Jay Cuts, my barber, man, oh man, keeping me fresh, even though I'm wearing a hat. uh, shit, Do You Sis podcast, man. First episode. This is the first time meeting them. It was a wild fucking. I think you know when shit's gonna go. I say this all the time. I think you know when podcasts are gonna go smooth. And this one, when I first walked out of my apartment to meet them, and they were coming up, it was just like instant chemistry, just laughing, or maybe it was just them at first. But it was we I know we had round two later on in the year, and that one was fucking insane. One of my most viewed podcast episodes or downloaded episodes. Shout out to Do Uses podcast, Janelle and Kira. Uh, shit. Let's see. What's next? What's next? Who cut ya, man? Shout out to you, fucking Hector, man. We actually 412 threads. Follow him on Instagram. We actually did a turkey drive in November, and I know I posted it on my personal social media. I know I posted it on the podcast platform. Insane fucking like that was my first turkey drive or just giving back volunteering. The satisfaction you get from doing shit like that. It's another feeling, man. It's another feeling. So I encourage anybody to actually volunteer. Shit, let's see. Brandon, man, shout out to you, bro. We actually went to your first fight. Well, not your first fight, but your first fight in the year, May. I think it was May. Yeah, we went May 14th or something like that. And first loss, but you took it like a fucking champ, dog. You took it like a fucking champ. And you came back in the later in the year and you got a win. And I think he's supposed to fight February 6th. I think that's what he said. Brandon. I would say his fucking Instagram name, but it's in Spanish and I have no idea how to say it. But shit, TB Robbie. We did round two. Talented fucking producer, man. Talented fucking rapper. When it comes to producing, you really see how fucking gifted some people are when it comes to the music shit. And he's just a testament to just to that, just to what I said. Shit, some technical difficulties, and my memory card ran out of data, so we had to pop in another one. But shit, man, sports guy Jose, shout out to you, bro. You're first off, want to say he's a huge supporter of the podcast. And down to earth dude, just like Eddie, man. He's a hard worker. He reps his fucking city, reps his part of town, like on his fucking back. I think the zip code he's from is 78207. And if you go back to episode 38, you'll see he's repping that shit on a shirt. And that just shows how much San Antonio or his area means to him. And he's a reporter on Spectrum News. So man, shout out to you. Shit, I think we this next one is by far one of the people that I kind of just ride with. I respect because till this day I get people in the DMs just saying, "Hey, Hefe sent me. Hey, trying to be on the podcast. Hefe sent me." So shout out to Hefe, man. Shout out to fucking Hefe the Culture. I think that's his IG name. Fucking like I said, I I think he's probably one of the hardest working people out there because he's doing shows every fucking damn near every day. Like on a fucking Monday and Tuesday, he's showing out doing fucking shows, DJing these shows too. So He's a grinder, man. C Will too as well. He's Hefez C Will's manager. He's at the same shows. He's doing the same thing. He's grinding hard. So shout out to C Will, man. The music is dope too. That's the crazy thing about C Will. He's so much passion, so much just real shit in his fucking music. Another dude too as well, JB Cooling. Shit, his music kind of fucking hit me over the head because it was what he's actually doing in real life. Um, and but he's still being able to make music. I think he's yeah, a software engineer, or he does coding for his like 9 to 5. Not too sure on if he still does it now, but man, he just to have that much ambition, just to go through a tedious fucking process and having like a coding job, 9 to 5 job, and do that shit on the like your music on the side, just shows just shows how much of a fucking person that guy is. Shit, Eric and Jay. Jay, you already know what I mean to you. Eric's the fucking man. Shout out to E, man. He's the best dressed, if you know what I'm talking about. Shout out to my boy E. Ja, man. I want to give a shout out to Ja. She's probably I had her round two as I had her on the pod for round two later in the year. This was like May, I think. And her music is another one of those people that fucking just puts her soul into the actual music. She's she talks about love, she talks about in her music, she talks about just going through real shit. Fucking let's see. Carlos, shit. Los in the building. Los and I think his cousin's name is Eric. Shout out to them, man. I know they some fucked up shit they had at their job and went ahead and started culture barbecue and started doing pop-up shops, and man, they're taking off right now, and it just shows like they're very, very passionate about barbecue. Episode 44, you'll fucking see the type of shit. I think Carlos was on the bridge of fucking dying from COVID, and he had an out of body experience with God. He said, and yeah, he had to choose just a destiny. He ended up living. So man, shout out to Los. Shout out to fucking Los. HTX Drizzy, man. This is probably one of I remember this conversation clearly. And I said to him, man, he's one of the dudes that had a very, very mature mindset for being only 21, 22. And yeah, man, he's a dope dude. Music is there too as well. Music is there too as well. Something about two as well. I always fucking say, and it's very I don't know. I hate saying it, but I fucking say it. Let's see, Tracy. Man, me and Tracy go way back. If you listen to the fucking podcast episode, you'll know that um this the amount of chemistry we have between us two, the amount of people we know as a together is just very, very similar. But he was another one of those dudes where we didn't really talk much in the beginning, but when I sat down with him and had that conversation, opened my eyes just because that was a mental illness episode, and just to see someone get out of the situation he was in, mind blowing, fucking mind blowing. T with Tammy. Tammy, what up, man? If you're listening right now, man, shout out to you because you were I consider you one of the people that have been in the podcast game for a while, and I look up to you just because you've been doing it for damn 5, 6 years. You put out a ton of episodes, and you're still doing it. I think you released a podcast episode a couple days ago, or maybe last week. Like I said, you're still going. So shout out to you, T with Tammy, Instagram, Twitter, follow her. Got a couple vlogs in there. Let's see. Do what makes you happy. Who's this? Who's this? Shit, we got Hookaya, we got Roland on there, and then I think we got Sneed. So shout out to them, man. They're still doing their thing music wise. Man, Ron, shit, bro. One of these days, I'm gonna get on fucking TikTok, man. Ron, my one of my fucking best buddies from Apple, man. We still in contact today. He calls me every so often just to see what type of goals I'm at. Haven't talked to him in a minute just because shit, his life's been fucking crazy, which I'll get into in a little bit. But yeah, man, Ron's one of those real ass dudes that's like no matter what, he's gonna fucking push you to the limit. And I'm gonna get on, like I said before, I'm gonna get on TikTok one of these days. Shit, man. Episode 50 was a fucking wild one. I think this one actually put me on the map of being a podcast because of the type of traction this dude had when he was at the level that he is right now, man. Mario Barrios, man, one time for you because you went in and did your thing against fucking Davis, bro. You went and did your thing and you didn't quit, bro. I would have round fucking the first time I got knocked out, I would the first time you got knocked down, which is I think round 8, um, I would have stayed down, bro. Like you that's a fucking warrior, bro. That's a fucking warrior. I think our TikTok damn near had like 30,000 views. Or, on Instagram I mean, yeah, Instagram, it had like 15K, 14, 15K, and, yeah, man, I got a lot of notice from that. The video is lit shit, I'm looking at it right now, 3.7K views, biggest video that I have on the fucking internet right now, so, man, Mario Barrios, shit, one time for you, bro. Good luck on your next fight, February 5th, Keith Thurman, Vegas. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Shit, I might pull up, you never know. You never fucking know. Sean. Shit, episode 53. Raw, let me see. Raw Performance Fitness. I think that's what it's called. I think that's what I have here, bro. I forget a lot of shit, but man, shout out to Sean because he's doing his thing in his garage. You don't necessarily need a fucking full-blown gym to be who you want to be. You're doing it at the state of your fucking house. Like that, you're to in-home garage. You're getting people in fitness. You're getting people healthier. You're just setting the tone to when it comes to fucking fitness. And you're doing it, man. You're fucking doing it. So shout out to you, man. Shit. Steph, appreciate you. Love you, man. Um, we got Yo Sneaks. Yo Sneaks, man. This was a dope one because this is the first time I ever had a nonprofit on the fucking pod. And his story is crazy too. Just the amount of years he's been able to grind, just the amount of years he's been doing his things. He's a streetwear clothing brand. Like he has a streetwear clothing brand, which is his designs that he creates himself. I believe that's what he said on the pod. And it's dope too. I have a couple shirts in the closet that I haven't worn yet, but yeah, man, shout out to Yo Sneaks. Ja, another one. Shit. Birdo, bro. If you watch episode 57, you know how much Birdo means to me, man. He's one of the a father figure that I've just he's just man, he was a father figure that he showed me a lot of guidance. He he was there at some of my craziest fuck ups and just witnessing live and man, we talk shit about it all the time and man, yeah, love that guy, man. Shout out to Burlo. Roland. I said this on a couple podcasts ago. I think I did it with Bree, Official Fuego, which we'll get into. She's down the line too as well. Roland's one of those dudes that the music is there. The fucking pod is I mean, the pod that we had just to show like the game that he was putting out into the actual into onto the platform is insane. That dude's ahead of his time. That dude's ahead of his time for sure. Shout out to Roland. Nightlifer. Shit, man. And this was next one is Alan, man. Shout out to Alan. He's a fucking artist from he's an abstract artist from San Antonio, Well, he's actually from ooh, I'm not gonna say it, man. I'm gonna leave it to you, bro. Because I had trouble saying it on the first pod. Actually Rwanda. Probably didn't say that right, but he's from Africa and the type of shit he's creating or the type of things he did in 2021, he just posted a recap recently and he worked for BBC Ice Cream, Pharrell's clothing brand. Like, what? How do you do that? And he fucking did it. Crazy, man. Shout out to Alan, bro. Do use his podcast in round two, like I said before. Shout out to them. This one was another one that put me on the fucking map with between just people that are doing shit in San Antonio. The Vaulty having the owner from the Vaulty on was was just an eye-opening experience because he came from the bottom too. He was selling trap shit. He was not selling trap shit. He was selling shit from his house. He was selling shit in high school. He was selling shit and still to this day. So shout out to James, man. He's a true down to earth human being, man. Shit, AJ Bray. He was actually I said it on the pod. He was one of the people that kinda took a chance on me, kinda got into the second bedroom back in November 2020, and man, that was another conversation that I just was so eye-opening because he had experienced so much, but he knew what he experienced like, he understood what he experienced, and he just related to music, or he put it in music, and the songs are popping, the music is popping. Shout out to my niece, man. Me and her did a pod together, so shout out to her. This is an insane episode. Episode 64, man. Um, fucking Joe Nay. Shit, addicted to heroin, still alive to this day. He's been sober for 5, 6 years. Man, just mad respect for the type of dude this guy is. Mad respect. This is another one. Put me on the fucking map. I got a lot of notice for this. I got a lot of feedback from this. Question 210. My guy is insane. I honestly he's been following the pod since I got Eddie on. We talked about that. I don't remember in person or on the pod. And yeah, he was just following the pod, and I looked up his music when he first followed, and then I was just like, this is fucking dope. Because he said he made music. But then when it got around to it, this guy made music with Lil Wayne, Sean Kingston, Rihanna, um, fucking like the list goes on to the fucking Trey songs. Like the list goes on to the amount of music that he made in the 2010 era, the 2008, 2009, whenever he was popping, man. Shit, man. I know you still got a shit ton of things to do with your management company with Davies Entertainment with Cameron. So shout out to you, bro. Sean, another fucking dude that was just insane conversation. Shit just clicked automatically. Said it in the pod. We met each other 5, 10 minutes before airing, and it was one of the smoothest conversation I had on the podcast, and it was just to show that just shows the type of dude Sean is when it comes to just meeting people and having a conversation and being real, being vulnerable. Because he talked about a lot of things that a lot of people are not comfortable on camera talking about. So, man, shout out to you. Wish you nothing but success on Curry's Barbecue, Pinch Boyer House, episode 66. Man, check it out. TB Robbie, shout out to you. Bree, official Fuego Fash. Man, this is another one that was fucking cool to actually have because not a lot of people realize how hard it is for women to actually be in a business or have a business or run a business or talk about a business or anything when it comes to business. Like you're not supposed to have a business when you're a girl. You're not supposed to do these things. You're not supposed to thrive when you do when just in fucking general, man, which is weird to even fucking say it. Shouldn't even be saying it. But just another girl, man, doing it, killing it, taking pictures by herself, putting up a fucking tripod. You don't even need anybody. But yeah, man, she's doing her fucking thing. She's doing her thing. Shout out to Bree. This is one thing I wanna well, let me finish this shit. Um my last podcast episode of the fucking year, episode 69, Jay Shoulder. Shit, bro. This one was crazy because you put me myself on game onto what it really is in the music industry. You talked about a lot of good points when it came to making music, when it came to figuring out how to fucking just be in the rap game. You've been doing it since the MySpace era, and that just you have consistency, bro. I'm gonna tell you that. That's mad respect from me, bro. So shout out to you. Um, what I was gonna say before, let me bring up my list. What I was gonna say before though is the things that I experienced during the pod was insane this year because there was videos that I expected to insanely blow up. And maybe I feel that way about every fucking pod. I'm like, "Oh, this is the one. This is the one where I'm just gonna get excuse me, this is the one where I'm just gonna get a million views. This is the one where I'm gonna so many people are gonna notice, so many people are gonna realize how hard I've been working, just everything. So many people are gonna this is the one, every single one episode. But there is one particularly, a couple ones where I'm just like, okay, the followers are there, the people are there, the engagement is there, the everything is there. But when it came to my podcast, maybe it's a different platform. Maybe the people didn't really have time. I don't know. But you would think that if you're a true supporter of somebody, that you would go watch whatever they have on someone else's platform. That's just my perspective because that's what I do. But I guess not everybody's like that. But then you have podcast episodes that I release where I'm like, okay, this one's gonna pop off, but it's not gonna be like the other ones. I don't know even know if that makes sense. But in reality, it's the other way around, like, the ones that I don't expect to pop off or have so many views actually doing better than the ones I did, like, it was just like, "What the fuck? How does this even happen?" But that just goes back to detaching from results. I made a couple videos. I made a couple just short videos, reels on Instagram where it just says like, "Hey man, you need to detach from results. When you detach from results, you're not expecting anything in return. And when you're not expecting anything in return, you're just like, hey, if it happens, it happens. If it does, cool. Let's ride with it. Let's go with the flow." But man, now that I got all the shout outs, what a fucking year, man. I want to get into something that has been on my mind every single night. This shit keeps me up at night because this thing was one of the things that I was supposed to accomplish, that I was supposed to release, that I was supposed to do because I worked so hard on it. I had everything in line, and yeah, it just didn't go the way I wanted to. But merch, I wanted to release three shirts, a couple designs that I created. Wanted to release some trucker hats, design I made too as well, design I made too, and didn't end up releasing them. Just shit didn't fall in line. There's yeah, man. I don't even know. Like, just I don't even have an excuse. I'm just gonna say time wasn't on my fucking side. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, but merch is still coming out. Merch is still coming out. I promise you, I'm gonna do this not only for y'all, but for myself too, because I want to wear my merch. I want to rep the brand. I remember when I first started getting like, I made a one of one mask. I made a Ginn hat with the G in the front. I still have it. I made with just, but I was so scared to. I don't know if I was scared or embarrassed, but I was just so intimidated. Maybe intimidated is a word, just to wear my shit, just to rep my brand. And now I want to wear my shit every fucking day if I can. And that's one of the biggest reasons, other than people wanting it or people willing to wear this too. It, yeah, man, merch is still coming. I'm gonna figure out a fucking, you know what? Let's do this. If you're listening right now, do me a huge favor. I'm gonna do a giveaway right here, right now. If just for my YouTube listeners, just for my yeah, just for my YouTube listeners, or this is just for my podcast people too. If you're listening right now, go ahead, do me a favor, hop onto my YouTube channel, subscribe, comment on this end of the year recap video. Just comment Ginn. Yeah, just comment Ginn on the actual video and like the video. Yeah. And you'll be entered to win a t-shirt whenever this merch drops. So real quick recap, subscribe to the YouTube channel, go ahead and like the video. Go ahead and comment Ginn, Ginn, on the actual comments, and we'll raffle off one T-shirt. If I get some comments, if I get enough comments, we'll give away two, depending on depending on how I feel. But like I said, if you're right now on all podcast platforms, hop over to the YouTube and just comment or just do those things I told you, and you'll be entered into the giveaway. So shout out to y'all, man. But yeah, when it comes to the merch, IG giveaway is gonna end. There's a giveaway right now on my, which you're probably not gonna hear, but giveaway is still gonna be announced on January 1st, New Year's Day, or New Year the second, January 2nd, 2022. Haven't made up my mind yet. Probably January 2nd, just because that's a Sunday. That's a Sunday, I think. And I would have more time to actually do that. So yeah, man. Another part I wanted to get into is the whole podcast platform. So switching from Buzzsprout, which is a podcast host, if you're not familiar with the podcast host website, basically where you just upload your podcast audio, and then it distributes to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all these other podcast platforms that people listen to. So just like what people do with their music, it's just a host website. So switching from Buzzsprout to I recently did the switch to Anchor. So Anchor is like partnered with, or I think it's the actual brand. I'm not too familiar with it. They're partnered with Spotify, and it allows us, or just the platform, to have the video on Spotify too. So if you are listening on Spotify, check out the video. The video should be live too. You should see me. And yeah, that is. I was one of the first people that actually got access to having my podcast video on the actual platform, which was, I think it took like 3 weeks, a month to actually, I guess, go through the process to actually have them check out my shit, which was fucking dope. Just to have that. Before, it used to be very, very exclusive. You had to be sponsored by Spotify, or you had to have like an actual deal with them to be exclusive. Now that gives me another realm of having my actual platform on. So shout out to Spotify. Shit. This is something that not a lot of people talk about, but I'm willing to talk about is my podcast numbers. And fucking insane because I remember shit when I first started off. Actually, I think my most listened to podcast is sitting at like 500 downloads. I would have to look, but now I'm releasing every podcast episode and it's getting 100 downloads. It used to be fucking 10, 15 to damn near fucking 8x, 7x the amount of downloads I get in a year and a half. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to the fucking listeners. That's couldn't like I said, this wouldn't be possible with any of y'all. So shit. I'll get into a couple goals later, but yeah, 100 downloads. That's not even including the views on YouTube. So the views, yeah, totally different. But those are just all different like social media platforms that I'm trying to, I guess, bring up. So um I guess I can get into the goals now just because it just leads that's just a good segue. So a couple goals I have for the new year is getting to 500 to 1,000 downloads per podcast. And that's going to take some fucking hard work, but I truly believe that this platform and my ambition and my drive to actually do this podcast once a week for the year or for the however long I want to do podcasts for, that we get to those numbers, maybe even more. I know once you get to a certain level, you start getting sponsorships. You start getting to, you know what? Let's talk about that. If you're new here, if you've been listening for a minute, this podcast, I have not received a dime for anything. This is all coming out of pocket. This is all coming for the love of actually just impacting people's lives. This is coming from just the drive I have, the curiousness I get from people's lives. That's even weird to actually say, but just the drive to actually impact people's lives is why I'm doing this actual platform or actually talking into this actual mic right now. So yeah, have not received a dime, but that's about to change. That's for sure about to change because I know once you reach a certain level, um, or a certain media platform, following, engagement, whatever, you start getting deals. Brands start reaching out for whatever reason, product placement, sponsorship, ads, anything you can think about. I know I'm not personally in it for that, but someone always said, not someone, someone once said that when you truly, truly follow your passion, the money will come. And this is what I like doing, even if it's in my second bedroom, even if I go outside and just do it on my fucking porch. Like, this is what I love doing. I just like talking for some odd reason. I used to not be like this, but yeah, man. My TikTok game is horrible. I haven't fucking posted since last month. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Right now, TikTok is the media platform or the social media platform to boom. People are getting 1 million followers in less than fucking 2 weeks. Insane. In fucking insane. And that just I don't know why. Maybe I'm intimidated to be in a platform where people comment stupid shit. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. But, I know that's one of the things that if I work hard, because Ron tells me all the fucking time, if I work hard to put these videos together and have an actual presence on TikTok, that this platform will become something that I know it can be. So I'm a personal and podcast platforms on so TikTok. I'm gonna fucking up my game, hopefully. But that's what I want to do. That's a goal of mine. We're sticking to a pot a week, 52 episodes. Once we get to yeah, when if we might do a couple vlog I'm not even gonna say vlogs because that shit's hard as fuck. I don't know. I was thinking about doing this is a random thought. I was thinking about doing a fucking vlog, a day in the life of just my life in general, but it's so hard to keep up with being taking the camera, putting it on a tripod, like having just so much shit you gotta worry about when it comes to vlogging. But yeah, I think another one too is I want to get into a new studio. Like I said, there's a couple things that I personally don't like about the studio we have now, but we're making it work. Super grateful for the opportunity we have to actually be in that studio. Super grateful for my friends to actually be able to come there and support me in that spot. Just like the way I would support them. But I personally want to get into a new studio, better lighting, Wi-Fi, um, better location. Not to say that anything's wrong with the location, but I just it's a little bit out of downtown. I personally would want in downtown San Antonio, Texas. So San Antonio, Texas. There's a couple spots I actually have my eye on right now that are a little bit expensive, but I mean, I figured if I enjoy this enough, it'll give me some satisfaction out of going there doing pods with people, and it just being on a professional level. I think not to say that this one in the studio that is not professional, but I feel like having a studio the way I want it, this setup, just I just have a vision in my mind that I want to present myself as a professional platform, and that's just another step I have to take. But, man, I wanna end on, something that I don't think I really talked about. I don't think I really mentioned in any of my videos, or I don't even think anybody's has asked me this, but, or I think I don't remember how this question came about in my head, but, um, kinda just why listen to this podcast? Why listen to the Gin podcast? Why, what makes this podcast different? And, my whole thought process on that is just my whole thought process on that is just the impact. I mean, I'm impacting people's lives. I have countless DMs, I have countless text messages, I have just countless shit when it comes to people letting me know what my podcast, what my voice, what I'm creating has impacted their life, has and that's what I wanted to do. I said that from the jump. If I can get one person to change their perspective on any view that they have for the right and not the wrong, then I did my job, and that's what I'm doing, man. Shout out to, shout out to Maserati Marcus, shout out to OCD Creates, shout out to their whole team, shout out to Steph, shout out to I know there's another fucking person, there's another person I'm fucking missing, but they created podcast platforms based off what they're seeing from me, and that is crazy. And s and yeah, it's just insane to see that someone actually is creating something based off what they're seeing from me, and that's dope, man. So shout out to all of them. Shout out to actually creating that platform, creating their platforms and starting in the actual podcast world and just impacting people's lives. I feel like when you impact someone's life, it goes to show the type of person you are, and it goes to show the type of shit you wanna put out in the world. I've said it before, um when I die, I wanna be able to raise my hand and tell whoever's asking or whoever's in front of me that I did everything I could to put out into this world to make it a better place. That's what I'm doing, man. That's what I'm doing on this actual podcast. I think the second reason is, I think the second reason is, you're gonna hear me one way or another. I'm not stopping. I promise you. I will not stop this actual podcast platform because it's just what I wanna do. It's just as like I said before, I like doing this. I love doing this. And, yeah, you're gonna hear me one way or another, whether if it's your family, whether if it's your friend, whether if it's your coworker, whether if it's your mom, dad, your brother, your sister, someone out there is gonna be connected to you and is doing big things. Or it might be you. It might be you doing something. It might be you having a business. It might be you making music. It might be you painting. It might be you starting a gym in your home. It just might be you. So and my whole thought process is why not listen now? Why not follow the podcast right now? Why not subscribe to to every podcast, social media podcast platform that I have right now? Because one way or another, you're gonna listen to me whether you see it or not. And that's my whole thing. Not to be on some ego driven, macho driven shit, but that's my whole thought process is I'm on a mission to go into especially San Antonio where I'm born, where I'm raised, not necessarily born, but that's my whole mantra, man. I'm going around San Antonio, listening to people's story and figuring out why people are doing what they're doing. And I think that's why this podcast platform has kind of grown so much over the past year because people are just realizing like, hey, he's going around talking to real people doing real shit. And I know like big people that have huge ass followings, man. I've done podcast platforms with shit. Mario's probably the highest one with 100,000 followers, all the way down to 300 followers. It doesn't like if you're doing things, and I've noticed, and I'm a very particular person on who I want on that actual platform, um, because of the way I want to present my platform. I've said it before in a previous podcast. If you're doing weird shit, if you're doing dumb shit, if you don't even have your music link in your fucking bio, so I can check out, so I can realize, so I can see the type of things you're creating, or if if I hear you're doing dumb shit from other people, like something that I truly trust, something I truly trust, and then that's a little group of friends, tbh. Yeah, if I hear you doing weird shit from other people from my group of friends, I'm like, yeah, why would I want that? And I trust them. So yeah. But man, if you're still listening right now, I went through a ton of shit. I gave a ton of shout outs. I gave my whole spiel on why I actually want to do this and what's in it for the future. And merch is on the fucking way. We're back where it all started for 2021 in my second bedroom. And honestly, I was actually gonna do this in Goliad, Texas, at my grandpa's house on my ranch, but I just figured I would do it where it means the most to me, and it's right here, man, my second bedroom. This is one of the places where I go where I can just tap out of life, not necessarily figuratively, like just tap out of just work, just business, just friends, just family, just whatever, and just be myself, create shit, edit shit, just look up, just be on YouTube, whatever. This is the room that I just feel so free and yeah, man, what a way to fucking do a recap of 2021, my biggest year yet, and just show the fans that I appreciate you so much. I just like I this is insane to even say that people actually are listening to my fucking voice, man. Hopefully you're not getting tired of that. But as always, I'm gonna end it right there. Giveaway, if you're still listening, t-shirt giveaway, merch giveaway. Ginn in the comments, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. And man, again, I appreciate you. Until next time, people. Peace.